2nd of September 2024. And like always, I go to the clubhouse very peacefully, very quiet. I do not get into anybody's face. I do not. They all get into my face. So today, well, they influence people against me, etc. And that was expected because everything that I've done in the past for the last 5 years, lying against me, falsely accusing me, falsely fabricating lies against me and spreading it. But I want to talk about the assault and what I faced with today. So I went there peacefully. I was sitting at a table in front. One lady got up and she started pointing her fingers and she started yelling at me and said, pointed to a guy and said, he said there, etc. Then somehow, then when I'm going in through the door, we are residents. They know us. They already scan your ID card when you come in. They already see your ticket. You have a ticket. You're going in. So the chairman of the recreation district shout out at me, "You got an ID?" And say, "But everybody's showing ID. You see, and there's a woman in front of me, did not have a ticket, but she's Hispanic, probably does not even live in the community. She did not have a ticket, she did not have an ID out, and the woman sent her in. And she do that. Anyway, I took out my ID and showed her, but she has people around watching and singing. So I look for the table, and I find I sit there. Peacefully, quietly, not saying nothing. There's two people come and sit at the table, and apparently they're not had ticket or whatever, and they're trying to talk to me and ask me stuff. And then they go pretend that they can't hear. So anyways, that was that. But then all of a sudden, this woman named April, who used to always get in my face, and later on I heard she's bipolar. She just, everybody's passing right there. Nobody's hitting me. She passed and she hit me on my hands one time. The second time she's passing, she bulldozed me, but then she pretend for storm back and say sorry. But everybody's going to vouch and say that happened. But that's not all. There's this guy who named Robert, his wife named Joan. And they usually volunteer to collect the tickets at a theater and sometimes at a banquet hall. So one time I had a friend that came from Coconut Creek, and he bought 2 tickets online for us. When he was in the line, when he went to the office to collect the ticket, the lady at the office, Claudia, was questioning him all kinds of questions. So I stepped up next to him because I was waiting there for him when he come in. And when she asked me but if she can help me, I said, we're together. He bought 2 tickets online. That's what you're picking up. We went in to that theater together with the 2 tickets. The robber took off the tickets, stop, he and his wife right there. When they're done, they're going to light Marianne, they light Yvonne. Then they say how Marianne came and stood up and she's staring at me. Up to today, I have those tickets, and I didn't get it from anybody else because I'm not friends with anybody. Yvonne claimed how they got audio-video recording, only picking up me. They're not picking up and see nobody else. They got people watching cameras, and they're editing the cameras there. So that's one thing they're doing. They start lying from that. The next time now, I go to one of the tea dance, and I had a $50 bills. I went to the office. I buy a $5 ticket. I tell the guy I want a ticket for the tea dance. The tea dance was the same day. But this guy used to work there. He used to claim that they're not going to count me. So they're swift. He thought coming to his head. So he go and he bring back $50 change, change. And then he says, here's your change. And he put it on. And he's probably making a recording. And he swiftly pulled back the $5. And he sell me a ticket that same day for a table that was not existing. The letters. So I took the ticket. I go in there. They took off the stub from the ticket. I went into the banquet hall. I looked for the table not existing. So I went and sit at the table right in front of the stage where they put me to sit today. But I did buy a ticket. I did have a ticket. But when this guy done, God never knows if he's taking the money or not. But he must have told Marianne that I didn't buy a ticket, that I asked to change because she was showing remarks. or slants or whatever. And she came that same day and stand up and stare at me too. But God knows, and God witness, I went there with the $50 bills, and I didn't ask to change. I asked for a ticket for the tea dance, but I had to get change. But that's what he did, and that's what he came and said, and he grabbed back the $5 very fast and sell the ticket. Then, two other times, there was this doctor named Charles, and we both went to the ticket booth at the clubhouse, the office, and he bought two tickets by cash for me and him. So now when we going in to one, the Robert and the Joan, Matella was at one door collecting tickets, and the Joan and Robert rushed to the other end, and they call us, they deliberately call us out to the line, and that lady and that man, they took the tickets and take off the stub. Later on, when Matella see me alone, she rush up and she hollering for tickets, and I show her the tickets. And even though I show them the tickets, she did that several times to me after. And then in Labor Day of last year, when she do it, I stand up for myself, and they all go against me, and they all still talking and spreading this lies against me. But the desperation of lies, and how they're muting phone and all the false recording, but they make when they yell and scream at me. But they're talking into phone first, and then they muting it, and they yell and scream and shout at me. And when I respond accordingly, that thing. So the next thing that will happen today is the same Robert, the same liar, desperate guy. He came and hit me 3 times on my shoulder. There was absolutely no, me and he's not friends. They're enemies. They hate me. They're lying against me. They're nasty people. He hit me 3 times on my shoulder, but nobody's going to say they witness that or to see that. And another thing that happened, they tip off the lady from Etna. Well, they had lied to her several times before, and today they get her. I was right there, and I borrowed her pen for follow the raffle. And in the past, they tell her, I used to follow the raffle, I tell her not to include it. And I'm right there for another raffle, and this lady is shouting and screaming on top of her lungs, saying how bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. And I'm right there with it, and when I hand you back the pen and I hand you the raffle thing, she's staring at other people who came to the table after me. And she takes it, but she's just staring at them, looking at them. But with God's grace and power, I've said nothing to these people that do all of that to me today. And I said nothing to them. But I will pray, and I will pray to the last breath of my life that I receive back what they're doing. And I'm not praying bad for people. I've never prayed bad for people. But I pray for that nasty mind, the dirty mind, the evil, wicked mind, all the desperate lies that they tell to me, all the desperate lies that they tell about me, everything that they fabricate and they spread and they're telling, and they're gross, how they gang up in 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s and dozens, and how they grossly intimidate me, how they grossly bully me, how they grossly discriminate against me, how much of them talk about Indians and I don't want Indians here and I don't want Indians around them, how much of them, right, they carry on and how nobody don't want me there, nobody don't want me in the club, nobody, right, they're kicking out in the club. 3 of them assaulted me in the club, and Yvonne is shouting out because she's getting Glenn for edit the security camera, and other people, they're watching it on their phone, and Glenn must have told these people also that let her do these things to me, that he can edit it out. And before she reviewed, when she claiming that everything that I said, there's no truth in it, but when she meet it, when they come back to haunt each and every one of them, they can see. I was almost going to forgive her when she started off saying, but she apologized, but when she continued, right, not one single person there have ever showed me any respect. And when after they assault me, they're crying out for respect. Well, anyways, I said that whatever they say. But I just want to talk about today and the stuff that lead up. Every single thing that I've attended at Sunrise Lakes Phase 4, I've bought a ticket for. I've had a ticket for it because the person I was with bought the ticket. We had 2 tickets. God is great. And with God's grace and power, I'm going to throw stands, I'm going to throw remarks, I'm going to tell all these lies and do all these wrong things. I'm going to yell and I'm going to scream and I'm going to shout. And they're doing it in 3s and 4s and 5s and 6s, and they're vouching for each other. But with God's grace and power, and it's just me alone. They got everybody else fighting the battle. They have their husband, they have their sister, their brother, their children, everybody fighting the battle. Like this woman named Dawn. Well, I can start another video since this is getting too long with her.